what happened in the last two interviews? How much you scored?
Sir, last one was 171 and before that 162.
Very good. Briefly introduce yourself, Rahul.
Sir, I'm a mechanical engineer from Delhi Technological University. I passed out in 2021 and since then I've been preparing for this examination. I am from Hisar, Haryana, and I like to watch movies, especially on spy thrillers, and I want to learn more about modern physics. And I try to do this through watching videos on YouTube.
Okay, that's very good. Shrikant sir, would you go ahead?
Okay. Yeah, you belong to Haryana, you told, Rahul.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And Hisar also. Why Hisar is famous for? Town? What is important in Hisar?
So there are many things. First is the steel factory of Jindal Group. Second is the Haryana Agricultural University. Is there? Also, there is a buffalo breeding farm.
Okay. Historically, Hisar is a district, not a town. District is famous. What is it for?
It was established by Firuz Shah Tughlaq, sir, in 1354. Since then, it has been central to this area.
Yeah. Any excavation going on in district Hisar, which is famous?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, Rakhigadi is the site, is a Harappan site in this valley civilization, and I think it is largest or one of the largest amongst all those sites.
Okay. What it has given any light into the establishing history of government India, Orissa in particular?
Sir, I'm not very sure about this.
Okay. You are told your hobby is watching documentaries on modern physics.
Yes, sir.
Any recent documentary you watched?
Yes, sir. Like I was listening to a podcast while I was driving back yesterday about black holes and what happens on their event horizon and how the information is destroyed through a black hole.
Okay. What do you mean by black hole then?
Sir, black hole is a region in space-time after which no information can escape after the event horizon's boundary. So it is because of extreme amount of gravitational pull that is created by the extreme condensed matter at the center of it, which we call as singularity now. But we don't really know what is really there inside the event horizon. It is mostly theoretical. Yes.
Okay. Did you try any job after completing your degree?
No, sir. I didn't sit for placements in my college. I started preparation in my third year.
Okay. How do you look at the job prospects of mechanical engineering?
Sir, as per my knowledge from my college, after BTech it is less, but if you do masters from a good college and you learn some skills that can be applied in some industry, then I think prospects become better. But just on the basis of bachelor's, people tend to go to other streams, general streams, consultation and other stuff, not the core mechanical engineering part.
Yeah. I think your main subject was also mechanical engineering.
Yes.
Yeah. What is the difference between flywheel and governor?
Yes, sir. Sir, governor is there to control the speed of the vehicle if there are differences in the load that is there on the engine. So if load is changing, then power has to be adjusted so that the speed remains the same. That is the function of the governor. Whereas flywheel reduces the variation in power delivery between cycles. For example, in in an internal combustion engine, you have only one power stroke, whereas in three strokes there are no power. So in those three strokes, there are absorption of energy, whereas power is delivered in only one stroke. So there will be some fluctuations because of this in vibration. So in terms of decrease or increase of speed of the wheels. So flywheel is there to supply that power when there is no power delivered by the engine.
Okay, okay. After Trump assuming the office, and there are a lot of uncertainties in because of the trade tariffs.
Yes, sir.
India is also experiencing it. With respect to recent Russian president visit,
Yes, sir.
okay, how do you see this visit vis-a-vis US relations in India?
Sir, the visit comes at a very important time. There were negotiations going on in Russia also. Just before his visit, they had Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner there in Russia discussing about how to solve the problem. Now, in that backlight, I think this visit assumes another importance where the whole world is watching how Mr. Modi is dealing with Putin and what they are discussing behind the scene also. What is the posture of India towards Ukraine war? So this is the global part. Second is our personal relation, India's relations with Russia. Beyond just the defense, we are trying to move into nuclear also. We are trying to increase our trade with Russia because we have a trade deficit with it. So those aspects also become important. Also, sir, there is a China angle and Pakistan angle to this visit all too, because Russia has become very closer to China since the war happened. So now we are trying to also move very closer to Russia.
Okay,
So
last question. Yeah, last question.
yes,
Haryana is comparatively a developed state in India, but still we have anemic issue in the female children.
yes, sir.
Is it still there? And what is the reason?
Sir, the primary reason is their desire for male child. So that was there. It was acute in like 10, 15 years back, but now it is reducing. Data also shows that the sex ratio is improving. But as broadly, if we look at the cultural and the narratives in the society, I think there is a broad consensus against child feticide through social media, through popular media and news channels also. So it has become a taboo to speak about such things in open, even if the people's psychology hasn't changed much because values take time to change. Only the next generation will be accepting these changes, but they cannot do these things in open because of the legal enforcement. So somewhere we have tried to change the attitude of the people through government's campaigns, but also those people who could not change their attitude cannot speak about their attitude in open because the other people see it as a taboo.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Srikanth. Madhviji, would you take over, please?
Thank you, sir. Rahul, good to see you, Rahul. So, you are a person who is a mechanical engineer.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have moved away from CFC in case of AC usage, and we have moved on to HFC. But we know HFC is also global warming. So what is the alternative, and what do you see as this changes as a mechanical engineer?
Ma'am, refrigerants are important for cooling. So HFCs cause global warming. So I cannot recall what other alternatives we can go for, but there can be other synthetic refrigerants also. I've studied about them, but I'm not able to recall the names of those alternatives beyond HFCs.
Okay, Rahul. Can you tell me what is the mechanism of usage of air fryer and how they are thinking it is better than any other thing?
So, ma'am, I have a very brief knowledge about it, generic knowledge, which I've heard from people around me. I think it cooks the food where we apply oil over the surface of the food, and then there is very high temperature of heat supplied through a mass of air which is flowing over it. So that air will increase the temperature of oil, which itself will increase the temperature of food and cook it. Whereas the earlier option was to fry the food. So frying was increasing the calories in the food, but now those calories are limited because oil consumption has reduced in air frying.
So can you tell me what is the basis on wormhole? Can you tell me as a layman? I don't know anything about space-time continuum and a wormhole. Can you explain it in a very simple language?
Yes, ma'am. Wormhole is a theoretical concept. We still haven't found any, but they gives us a way to move from one part of space-time to space to say to another part of space without moving in very less time. Like it is like a door that you can open from Earth and go to Moon just by stepping one step through it. So one part of the wormhole can be on Earth and the other part can open on Moon. It tears into the space-time, so it breaks it so that we can create that hole and have two ends on two parts of the space-time. One end and these two locations can be as per our desire. Say one on Earth or the second one on Moon. So that will reduce the cost of transportation in some way. Yes.
My last question is, what is going wrong in many cases of stampede? There are increasing cases, but still we are failing in it. What is your take on that?
Ma'am, the primary reason I can see from outside is planning and execution. Maybe the planning is not as per the number of people that will be coming to the event. So that would require the police to have more barricading, have more communication channels with the crowd, and also plan as per whether the crowd is excited or not. Because an excited crowd is even harder to control. Also, if the crowd age profile is youth, then they will be more excited also. That will differ from spiritual crowd. So I think that planning has to be improved, and then the final execution on the day itself. There also we can use more AI and drones to monitor the crowd behavior and see whether any panic events are there or not, and try to contain those panic events to a very limited area so that it does not lead to a crowd psychology where everyone is pushing each other. So we have to ensure that proper communication is there, planning is there, and yes.
Thank you, sir. Please.
Thank you.
So you're mute, sir.
Rahul, you got some interesting hobbies, so I would like to get into that. You are interested in spy thrillers.
Yes, sir.
Would you be more suitable for a job in the Indian police service than in Indian administrative service, looking at your hobby? How do you justify your interest in spy thriller and being interested in Indian administrative service?
Yes, sir. Sir, my first choice is IFS, Foreign Service, and that somehow relates to intelligence gathering also. Both of them operate on the foreign soil for the single objective of increasing or improving the interests of our country. So they both safeguard our interests. Coming to that question, whether I would like to be an IPS officer, surely, sir, like if I can become a diplomat outside, I want to also become, if given the chance, an intelligence officer who is posted outside also or inside India, who is gathering intelligence about that foreign nation. Both of them are working on a same level, on a same objective, but it's just that the mode of operation is different. One is very public and the other one is very behind the doors.
Okay. You are also interested in watching documentaries on modern physics.
Yes, sir.
Do you watch documentaries on astrophysics also?
Yes, sir.
How do you distinguish between physics and astrophysics?
Physics is a larger branch that will deal with many other things, whereas astrophysics is mostly related to stuff and about, say, stars, black holes, and space, time, and general relativity. The theories that are applied between planets and how those forms and how they move. So that is about astrophysics.
Would you be thinking astrophysics is same as astronomy in that case?
No, sir. Sir,
How do you
astronomy is
distinguish between the two?
astronomy is observation of those bodies to gather data about how they are moving, what radiation they are emitting. So all that data we capture image through astronomy. Any event that can prove or disprove our astrophysics, say any merger of a black hole. So we will observe it it will be observed by astronomers and studied by astrophysicists. What led to that merger? What were the consequences of such a merger of a black hole?
Okay. We all talk about sustainable development nowadays, don't
Yes.
you?
Yes.
If you look at agriculture in Haryana, how much rating you would be giving for sustainability in agriculture sector in Haryana?
Sir, the present practices are not sustainable because they are using too much of fertilizers and too much of water, that too from the underground sources. Such amount of water is not naturally available. So when the recharge is not as per the consumption, that cannot be sustained, because at a point will come when there will be no water left if consumption remains more than the recharge. So definitely, sir, it is not sustainable from environment point of view. Secondly, it is not sustainable for farmers' income also, because as the other sectors of economy are growing faster than agriculture, if farmers keep on growing rice and wheat, their incomes will lag behind the other sectors. So they will feel relative deprivation. And for that, they have to move to other crops which are high in value. So from socio-economic aspect also, I think this system should change towards more crop diversification.
So if we know this, why the administration not able to go in for sustainable approaches?
Sir, the administration is encouraging move towards other crops. For example, they are giving monetary benefit of 20,000 rupees under organic farming, and then, sir, but it is about psychology of the farmer. They are more comfortable with rice and wheat. They know that that will be assured income, because in rice and wheat there are very less pest attacks as compared to other high value crops. So if the government promotes universal insurance, that can be one way to safeguard the farmer and reduce the fears in his mind that shifting can cause more damage than benefits. So one is insurance, second is the government can provide more monetary benefits to other crops and reduce the benefits that are being given on rice and wheat through MSP in this region. MSP is the highest here as compared to other states. What the government is able to give to the farmers in the market, that is the highest.
But they are not able to do much in this, isn't it?
It is a sensitive issue, and it has also become a political one. So it becomes harder for the government to take a stand which is against farmers. Farmers will be willing to accept the changes only when it becomes economically viable. For that, insurance and more prices for other alternatives has to be there.
Okay. You lived in Delhi and you come from Hisar in Haryana.
Yes, sir.
To the pollution situation of NCR region, what is the contribution of Hisar in polluting NCR region? And where all?
Sir, one is that stubble burning is there throughout Haryana and Punjab. Although it has reduced to significant levels, it has reduced, but still there is stubble burning. Second is the steel factory. So there must be emissions from that steel factory, from its blast furnace. And sir, I can think of these two reasons.
That's all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As a mechanical engineer, you must have read somewhere. What is the contribution to the NCR pollution by vehicular emissions?
Yes, sir. Sir, vehicular emission contributes the highest to Delhi NCR pollution. As per some estimates, it is around almost half of all the other pollutants.
Come again. What is the statistics that you gave me?
Sir, if say 100 is the value that we assign to all the pollutants that are coming to NCR region, almost 40 to 50% is coming from vehicular emissions if we take it cumulatively throughout. Because seasonal fluctuations can be there from stubble burning or firecrackers, but vehicles are there for the whole of year. So they contribute the largest if we look at any one sector.
Where
So,
did you study this?
sir, some reports that are coming in newspaper these days.
No,
The
newspaper.
latest one I can recall is the one from the print newspaper.
I think you'll have to do a little more study and some reliable reports. I think you
I
should.
will recheck the facts, but yes, it is certainly significant, if not the highest. It is significant. The major pollutants are nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, and carbon monoxides. Also, sir, diesel vehicles emit soot particles, also unburnt carbon. So that can also become polluted.
Okay, that's all from us.
Yes.
How did your interview go today?
Sir, I don't know about it right now, but yes, I think that I was speaking a bit fast. I should have spoken a bit slower between the sentences, and so that I could have more time to think on those lines and give a more structured answer. Second is more energy and smile that I'm trying, but I think I should do more on that front.
Okay. Srikanth sir, your comments, please.